Good morning. Anybody out there yet? Somebody's out there. Hello. I'm going to wait a few more minutes, see if we can get some more people going. And of course, I'm having all kinds of little technical problems. Of course, first broadcast, that's going to happen. But hopefully I've got it all figured out now. Can you tell me who's out there? I didn't get any notices for some reason. Any names? Anybody out there? Nope, not yet. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes. I'll continue to get some things ready and see if some people come on. Ah, we got somebody on. Good morning. Yay. Your location, you're in. That's really strange. I can't seem to read these things. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to figure all that out because evidently I cannot read any of the posts being popped up. So we're just going to start talking this morning. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I'll have to figure that out another day. So I'm going to start off talking about what I'm going to be doing today and in the future. I want to give, of course, my first thing I want to do is give my props to Kate Richburg. You inspired me to do this. I started watching your Periscope broadcast and just thought, you know, that is the answer. That is how to reach everybody. I get questions every single day on email, on Facebook about how to do this, how to do that, how do you fix this problem, what's wrong with this thing. And this is really going to be the best way to get to everybody easily and hopefully give everybody some of that knowledge that comes along with, you know, when you're working with something constantly. Okay. So anyway, so thank you very much, Kate. If you're listening, I really, really, really appreciate it. What I'm going to be doing, each broadcast, I'll be talking about a specific item. So I'll focus on that. Hopefully I'll be able to answer questions when I can actually read these things come up. But for right now, we're going to talk all day today, I suppose. Today I'm going to focus on white bronze. But each one I'll do different projects, work on different things, and it's going to be very informal. It's going to be what I'm doing that day in my studio. I will then post them on my Divine Ornaments website. That is www.divine, D-I-V-I-N-E, ornaments with an S.net. Okay. I'll post each one of these videos on there so you'll be able to refer to them. And I'll also be putting a list of the scheduled dates on there. I do plan to do this about once a month. So if it goes great, maybe I'll do it a little bit more. But for right now, we're going to stick with once a month. So I'm hoping to have that thing up and running this afternoon so you'll be able to see the future dates and what I've planned for each one of those. Okay? I do have, you know, I should mention, I do have two websites, and sometimes that's a little bit confusing. I have a website called divineornaments.net. That is mostly my classes, where you can go to register for things, find out where I'll be teaching. The other website is clayrevolution.com. That's where you can buy supplies. So that's where you're going to find the clays. You see a lot of stuff on Prometheus clay on there. Learning tab on there, which includes, you know, tips and hints on how to work with different clays and things like that. You'll also see all of the Prometheus clay instructors list on there, so you can find them in different states and things like that. Okay, so divineornaments.net is my teaching, and sometimes my jewelry will be on there. And then clayrevolution.com is for supplies. Okay, and you know what? Since I'm talking about websites, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do two things today. One is just a coupon to everyone who's watching, okay? If you're watching, clayrevolution.com, go there. Anything that you buy, you'll get free shipping as long as you use the coupon code, okay? That is PROSHIP, P-R-O-S-H-I-P, okay? Free shipping, $40 minimum on that, but anybody watching can go ahead and do that right away. The giveaway I'm going to do towards the end, so you got to hang in there for that part. Okay, so today we're going to use white bronze, and as I get going a little bit, I'll move this down so that you can see my hands a little better. But for now, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I'm going to do. I sell a lot of very simple molded earrings. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. These are just little lizards that I make, okay? And I make them in lots of different mold shapes. So I like to do this quickly and easily. Other pieces I do are much more complicated, but this is one of those quick, simple things that you do and can actually sell very easily and very affordably at shows. Some of the molds that I like to use. These are, I carry all of these kind on my website. These are Ultraflex Molds. I love these things. They are really, really, really fantastic. A good example of, there's some flowers, there's some birds, and we're going to do some of these so you'll see what they look like. Some sea animals. This one is a great example, though, of the flexibility. If you look in here, these things really come all the way out. Okay, these are little tiny, tiny, tiny flowers. And to give you an example of what that does, this itty bitty piece, hopefully I can hold that still enough, is one of those flowers in bronze clay. And it is, actually this is fired already, and it is just super, super, super detailed. So that one came out of, I believe, this little mold right here. So I really love using these Ultraflex molds because I can get a lot of detail with them. And that leads me to, I promised you a new product today. Composite Mold is a new product. It is absolutely fantastic, and I've been making a ton of molds in the last few weeks. I had to laugh, though. Let me show it to you first, and then I'll tell you my funny story from this morning. Okay, so this is a mold that I made this morning. It's this piece, okay? I love making earrings out of this piece because there's actually a little pre-made spot in here to put stones in, so I just love this shape. This is the composite mold, and it comes in two different kinds, okay? What is so awesome about this stuff? How many of you have spent a fortune on silicone mold making material? And you make the mold, you use it a few times, and it ends up in the drawer, and I never use them again. I have a few that I use all the time. Most of them, some of them I've never even used after I've made them. This is completely reusable. That's what I love about it. So, the way that you use this, you put this in the microwave, warm it up, it melts. You pour it into a little jar or a container or something. I don't have anything in front of me, but you pour it into a little jar on top of your object, like that, okay? So you pour this into the jar on top of it, you let it cool, and now you've got your mold. This is the Ultraflex one, so it is just super, super, super flexible. You can see all that, right? It also comes in a firm, which is this container, which of course I don't have anything in there that's easy enough to show you how firm that is, but it's much stiffer. It's more like the harder silicone molds that you can buy. And when I'm done and I'm bored, I pop this back in the microwave, remelt it, and use it for something else. It is absolutely fantastic. I love this stuff. I got some hearts, yes! It is great, great stuff. And so my funny story from this morning is, I realized that I needed to show you a little demo of this, and I had given away all the molds that I made in the last 2 weeks. So at 9:15, I said, I need a mold to show you guys today. And I ran downstairs, popped it in the microwave, threw another one of these in there, and it went right into the freezer so that it could get firm real quick. And it's perfect for today. Yes, I sell this. I did manage to see that message pop up. I think when you guys do multiple messages, I can actually see them on the bottom. I still don't know why I can't see all of them. But I do sell this. It's on the website. It's clayrevolution.com under the mold section. Firm and flex, okay? The flex is good for really, really, really tiny details. The firm is better if you're going to do a large, heavy object, okay? Okay, so we're going to use that today while we're doing this. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're going to do. I'm going to make some little molds. Actually, why don't we start with the composite mold and get a couple things out here. And I'm going to move this around now so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got some things sitting here that I need. I've got my clay. This is Prometheus White Bronze. We're going to talk a lot about the firing of that today. Okay, that's the clay. I've got a mold that I'm going to use. And I've got some little titanium hooks. These are teeny, 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 tiny titanium hooks. Okay, and I do sell these as well. I'm not sure if they're on the website right now, but I'll make sure that they get there. Titanium is really the best metal that you're going to use to insert and fire in your white bronze. Silver reacts with bronze, so if you try to fire sterling silver components into the white bronze components, you're going to get all kinds of weird, crazy things happen. Okay, so make sure that you use either a titanium or a niobium. Titanium is the most cost effective for doing it, so that's why I use it. I'm trying to get this thing set up here so you guys can see me. Okay, we'll work this way. Had this all figured out, and I don't know why it changed on me. But that's okay, we can adjust. So I've got stones, I've got some titanium hooks, I've got all kinds of little things set up. And the first thing I'm going to do, we're just going to do a simple pair of earrings, okay? I'm going to put some release agent on my hands. This is Liberation Spray. It's the one that I like to use. I sell this one as well. It is a silicone-based release agent. That's why I like this one. I don't tend to like the oils as much. They leave a little more residue in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. Both work easily, okay? Put a little release agent on my hands, put a little release agent on my work surface, okay, and I'm going to put a little bit into this mold. I just use cheapy brushes to do this kind of thing. So put a little bit in there. Okay. I need something to cut out some shapes after I get it molded, and my little hooks. I've got two little hooks here. Now, I've done something specific to these that I need to talk about. These were straight. You can see that right there, okay? I have bent the end of them. I just took a pliers. Let me show you the bend first. Can you see that? Okay. I took a plier and just stuck it in here. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch, okay, and just bent it sideways. I did that to create a hook on the bottom. That hook is going to help hold this into my clay so that even if I don't have the seal around the top, and you'll see what I mean when I do this, even if I don't have the seal around the top completely perfect, then it will still be hooked in there, okay? It won't fall out for any reason whatsoever, okay? So, I've got my hooks made, I've got my clay ready, I need a pair of tweezers, which of course I didn't get. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to do our first one, and it's just nice and simple. If I can get this jar open, now my hands are all greasy. Okay, I'm going to mix this up just a little bit and then Make sure it's a good consistency, okay? Then I'm going to squish it in my hands. This is really important. See those lines around there? They're folds. If you have that in your piece of clay when you put it into the mold, that line will be a crack in the metal. So you never ever want any of those folds showing, okay? So I squish this in my palms, kind of like that. And I'm really more squishing than I am rolling, okay? Squishing it flat together, and then I kind of come out loose like this, so it comes up into a ball. And now I kind of look at it, make sure there's no folds, okay? Flatten it out into a little pad. Push that down into my mold. And I just make sure that the back part of that mold is nice and flat. Okay? Flip that over. Pull it out of there. And now I'm going to use just a little steel awl to cut that out. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to go back and sand my edges after it's dry. Okay. That's cut out. Throw my clay back in here right away so it stays nice and moist. Okay. Now I'm going to find a good spot to put that hook. This is a kind of a three-sectioned pattern that I've got going here. So I think I'm going to put my hook up at the top of one of these sections. Get it lined up in my tweezers. Pick this up like this so that you don't have to touch the clay, right? Pick this up in my hand, and I'm going sideways first so that that hook goes in and then turns, okay? So I'm going to go in sideways and then turn it and put it all the way down into the clay, okay? And that's it. That's all there is to it. I'm going to put this up on a drying plate to let it dry. Make a few more of those, and then when they're dry, I'll come back and sand those edges. Thank you. I got some hearts I can see. I don't know how many people are out there, but I'm seeing a few different color hearts, so that's good. I'm going to make a few more simple ones, show you some of the other things that I do with them, and then as I'm doing that, I'm going to keep just working, and I'll start to talk a little bit about the firing and some of the issues with the white bronze that make it different than the other clays. Okay, so again, I'm just going to keep working on some, do some different things. I hopefully will put some of these little stones in there, but I'm not sure if I'll get that done as we're working. I've got some cute little opals here that I'm going to stick. I don't know if you can see this. So I've got this great mold. It's a seahorse. And if I put a Bezel Cup right there and then put a stone into that afterwards, it looks fantastic. It looks like he's holding a little piece of stone. So it's just a gorgeous thing. So I'm going to try to do that while we're talking. If I can accomplish that, it'll be a miracle. But we're gonna try. Okay. With the white bronze, it is very important to have a little bit of experience with the clay and understand what it is. It's similar. How many of you out there have worked with the silver and then worked with the bronze or the copper and found that difficult as compared to the silver? Anybody do that? Yeah, we got some hearts. Yep. That is, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to talk into this thing, make this a little easier. That is a common issue. And the reason that you have that is the metal is different. So you're dealing with a different kind of metal, a different creature. It acts differently, it melts differently, it reacts with other metals differently. And so that was a learning curve that a lot of people went through. You started with the silver and everything was great and it was really easy and you knew how to do it and piece of cake. and then you decide to go into the bronze, and you can't figure out why it won't work. and what is this carbon, and why do I have to do this, and why do I have to do that? And so the white bronze is similar to that. It is a completely different animal. And so you've got to learn a little bit about what it is and what it's doing in order to work with it properly. In the clay state, it's a piece of cake. It's very nice. It looks very much like the silver. You can tell by looking at it this way. It looks a lot like the silver, but it is a little bit drier, I'd say, than the silver is. Okay. It's similar to the bronze, to the way that the bronze feels. So the thing that I notice about this metal when working with the firing state is that you've got oxygen that it is very, very, very sensitive to. And you've got, I'd say, a sensitivity to the quickness of the heat, of the temperature change. Okay? So what that means is, in order to fire this, it needs to be in a lot of carbon so that you don't have any oxygen around it. And you need to use a steel container with a good fitting lid on it. Okay? If you've got oxygen up on that on the top of that carbon, that heats up a lot faster. And so the heat is going to get to your piece a lot faster. And what happens is you'll see the tin separate from the rest of the metals inside your piece. And that's because the tin is going to melt very quickly. Okay? So if you're having trouble, slow your ramp down. Make sure your container is sealed really well. Make sure you use a lot of carbon. Okay? I see people that'll put, normally we don't have a whole lot of trouble if we put too many pieces into a container. Usually they'll still center. With the white bronze, if you're having trouble, don't put so many pieces in. It needs a lot of carbon around it. Okay? I'm going to show you some examples that should help you a little bit determine what you're looking for. When it's finished firing, it should look a bit like this. Okay? It's kind of a silvery, and you can't really tell too much from the image, but it looks like metal. Okay? It looks kind of almost like a pewter sort of looks. Okay? This dark, see the difference between those? The dark is not centered properly, okay? It's firm, but it will break, okay? This is the most common thing that I see happen, and hopefully you guys can see this. See that? Those silver balls? Anybody try to work with white bronze and get those silver balls before? Oh, we've got nobody that's tried this yet. Oh, okay, one person. So those silver balls are melted tin. That is what that is, okay? So what has happened to this piece is it got too hot too fast. The tin separated and the rest of the piece didn't get a chance to center, okay? So again, it should look like this. It should not look like this. And it should not look like this, okay? Hopefully that'll help people a little bit. And I do spend a lot of time on emails trying to help people decipher what has gone wrong. Pictures are always great. If you want to send me an email with a question, attach a picture for me and I can usually tell you what's wrong with it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back again and try to make some more while I'm talking, but of course I cannot do that. I love to just talk to people and learn and all that good stuff. Let's see here. If I can get this set back up. Okay. Okay, so we're going to make some of these little teeny tiny seahorses. I couldn't think of the word. Seahorses. And get another piece of clay out. And work that. So anybody following that's going to Tucson in a few weeks? Nobody? Oh, one maybe? Good. I'm almost ready. I'm getting very excited. I cannot wait. I've got a lot of students signed up. Any students on here? Any of my students online? No? Okay. I have a lot of students signed up, and it's funny, I've got a lot signed up for the white bronze class. It's such a fun metal to work with, because when you're done, when you actually finish it and polish those pieces, I think I didn't put quite enough release agent. Oh, there we go. There's such a gorgeous, gorgeous shade of silver. I just love them. So again, I'm gonna cut this little guy out. Okay. Get a hook. You need to put the hooks in when it's wet so that you can get that hook to go into the clay all the way. Okay. If you wait and try to drill holes when it's dry, you're just going to have a straight hole. You don't have that extra secure hook on there. Okay. There we go. It's all in. And now I'm going to go ahead and try to set one of these so you can see what I was talking about. What I've got here is a copper bezel cup. Okay. These are pre-made bezel cups. Again, you can find these at clayrevolution.com. I've got sterling silver, copper, and bronze. But to date, I have not found any white bronze or titanium. So I'm going to use copper to do this. I'm going to make myself a little bit of paste. Okay. This is super simple. All I'm really doing is, find a tool here. All I'm really doing is adding some water to this clay, making myself a nice little paste right here. And you want this very thick. Oh, I do get a question very commonly. With many of the other brands of clay, they require oil paste to make really strong connections. Prometheus is actually better with just water paste. Okay, so I do get that question a lot because it's common, and you would think across the board that the oil paste would be better, but it actually isn't. Prometheus does work better with just water. Okay, so I've got some paste going there. That's in good shape. Okay, I'm going to take this little piece, get some paste in here, and this is going to be really messy because basically I'm going to, I don't know if you can see this from this way, I'm going to put this cup right in the tail part of that. So I'm going to get that nice and pasty. Stick that right down in there. Okay, just like that. Now, once that dries, I will fill the back of that again, and you can't see that right now because if I lift him up, he'll just fold. But once this dries, it'll be firm, and I'll be able to fill the back of that with more paste and let that dry again. Then when I fire that, afterwards, I can take the stone and set it into that bezel cup. It'll look very, very, very cute. So I think I need to raise that up just a little bit so that we have a little bit of wall to still bend over the stone edge. There we go. Okay. So, again, simple, simple, simple little thing, and once they're finished, they just look fantastic. I'll put this to the side here. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this piece back off and show you how I'm going to put this cubic zirconia into this piece. Okay. You can see now, see the pattern there where it leaves this nice little hole, so I've got some space to put a stone into it. take a pretty big stone. Set this guy in here. Okay. Again, my paste. I'm keeping this almost to the level of lump clay, okay? And I'm not doing anything fancy today. Again, this is just a simple project. We're not going to the super refined, polished, everything is gorgeous look today. Just simple beginner's project. I can pick this stone up, okay? Get the stone. I do find when trying to handle stones and setting them specifically in those bezel cups, it is easiest to use tweezers to do it because your hand is going to shake up much when you're trying to set it. Okay. When you set your gemstones, make sure that they're nice and flat. Okay, then you can go back and clean your edges off. You need to have clay around all of the edges of the stone. There's a flat edge along all these faceted gemstones. That's called a girdle, okay? And you need to have clay around the entire girdle in order to make sure that it stays in when it gets fired. Because they have, when the clay is shrinking, it has a tendency to try to push the stone up. Okay. And you see, I'm not picking this piece of clay up. I'm using this as my guide so that I don't have to bend the piece of clay at all. I don't have to handle it and put fingerprints into it and all that good stuff. Okay. Okay. I'm probably going to go back in with a water pen and some other sculpting tools and try to get this a little more evened out. Kind of difficult to do while I was talking. Since this is my first time, hope you guys give me a break on that. But we'll do some of these. Okay. It's at least good enough to show you guys now. So I've set the stone in, and let's see if I can get this to focus. There you go. I've set the stone in, and I've got just enough clay around all of the edges of that girdle to hold it in place. Once this dries again, then I'm going to go back and refine those edges, make it a nice polished finish on top. Okay? Okay. So, that being said, I think we're going to wrap up a little bit here. I need to give away some clay. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, the hearts come now, huh? Okay. So, let's see. Let's ask a question. How about that? And the first person... Oh, this is going to be hard. Since I can't read the things at the bottom. Okay, let's do it this way. So, I'm going to have you email me an answer to a question. And the first person that I get an email from will receive the free clay. Okay? So, I'm going to give away 20 grams of Prometheus clay of your choice. Copper, bronze, or white bronze. So, my email address is Carrie, C-A-R-R-I-E, at Divine, D-I-V-I-N-E, Ornaments, with an S, .net. Carrie at divineornaments.net. Okay? First email I get with the answer gets the free clay. And so be sure to tell me which kind of clay you'd like and give me your address. Okay? And we'll do it that way, since I can't read the post at the bottom. I still have to figure that out. That's going to take me weeks to do. Okay, the question is, do you have to have a kiln to fire Prometheus white bronze? There's your question. Okay, so the first email that I get will win that. And if I'm still talking, I'll check the email, see if I can pull it up. But I think by the time that happens, we'll have to go offline here. Couple things. So we talked about Tucson. That's exciting. I'll see everybody there in a couple weeks. It's going to be absolutely incredible. My favorite show to go to by far. And the other big event that's happening this year is the Metal Clay Artist Symposium. If you haven't heard about that one, go to the website. It is very, very exciting. It's MCAS2016.com. Okay, September 15th through 18th in 2016 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The instructors are absolutely incredible. The featured instructor is Anastasia from Russia. If you haven't seen her stuff, you have got to check it out. Check her out on that website, and then there's some links to her website and things on there. Absolutely unbelievable work. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm very excited for her to come. She's a featured instructor. She is sponsored by Prometheus and Clay Revolution. We've got Laura Hart. We've got Lizelle Crowley. We've got Barbara Simon. We've got Martha Bigger. I should have made a list because I'm going to forget somebody I know. Laura Moore. And I'm missing a big one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't do it. I was so close. Gail Stouffer. Gail Stouffer. So, anyway, it's going to be very, very exciting. There's some spectacular classes. And the neat thing about the event is it's an all-around symposium. So there's classes going on the whole time. There's a metal clay exhibit in the art gallery, so everyone who attends gets their piece in the art gallery for the month. That's incredible. You automatically get entered into a gallery contest. There's vendor shopping. There's free seminars throughout the entire thing, so if you're not in a class, you can sit for an hour and listen to one of the instructors. There's a Meet the Instructors event. Oh, my favorite one, though. Product Playground. That is awesome. I cannot wait to do that. Basically, you spend the evening in an art studio getting to play with everybody else's products. It's going to be so much fun. So, anyway, that's going to be good. So check that out if you haven't checked that out yet. That's a kiln. Let me see. Let me go over here to the kiln now. My little babies. You gotta love the kilns. So I'm actually, unfortunately, that's not metal clay this morning. I'm making some glass for the Tucson show. But I don't know what just happened to my lighting. Went really crazy. Anyway, we're gonna sign off. Okay, I'm gonna wish you very good luck on winning that clay, and I'll answer the first email that comes through and let you know who that was. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks.